I said I would call it rebalancing, but I would also say this is history which is switch hitting. It's hitting the other way, right? You know, the most popular film in India last year was a film called RRR.
Can I sit here as a South African?
Yeah, no.
Interesting about it that need reflecting. It's true that the great geopolitical competition will probably revolve around the relationship between the United States and China. But here's the thing which is interesting. I think over the last 2 years, under President Biden, and I'm not sure everyone in America sees it this way, but this is how I see it as an outsider, America has re-emerged as the strongest power in the world by a long way, both by dint of its economy, its military, its resources, its technology. As China has faltered over the COVID policy and, frankly, over aspects of its economic policy, I think America's dominance is very clear. That's the first thing. The second thing is that although the East is much more powerful, which is why I say for sure power has to a degree shifted but has still got to be shared, whilst it's clear that the East is very strong, it's not just America that is strong. Europe is still strong. It's still the largest commercial market in the world. I think the conflict in Ukraine has seen Europe and NATO regain some of its momentum and its purpose, and the UK to a degree too as an ally. And so I think the real challenge today is how you make sense of this shifting geopolitics. And in that, I think the position of India is absolutely critical, because the progress of India in these last years has been remarkable and extraordinary. And I think the position of India now, this is again my view as an outsider, is potentially more powerful than it's ever been. With the G20, this is in a way a demonstration of its authority on the global stage. But increasingly around the world, when countries are worried about whether they have to choose between the USA and China, I think India is a country seen by many as an objective friend. And I think it's got the opportunity now to lead the global south in a way that's never been true before.
But your point of power being shared and not shifted so much, is the West prepared to share that power? Because I do not see a lot of enthusiasm on United Nations Security Council reform to start with.
Yeah, but the West has got no option. And the trouble with the UN Security Council reform, which of course should happen, I mean, it's absurd that India is, you've got a situation where India is not a permanent member, but you could say that about other countries as well. But leave aside that, because the problem always with reforming the UN Security Council is how do you get consensus? But the West has got no option but to share the power. The question is how you make sense of international diplomacy in this new world.
Dr. Jaishankar, India today is a bigger economy than Britain. It is a geopolitical power. It is a post-colonial country that dominates the originally English sport of cricket. Would you call it a reversal of power?
Would I call it?
A reversal of power.
I would call it rebalancing. I would call it history switch to.
Your sound, I don't think your sound.
Yeah, I said I would call it rebalancing, but I would also say this is history which is switch hitting. It's hitting the other way, right?
Not far wrong.
But seriously, in history, you have these ups and downs. It's not often that actually countries get a second or a third bite of the apple. I think India today is in a very unusual position, that it is once more very decisively upwardly mobile, which a lot of other civilizational states, barring one actually, are not anymore in a position to do. Where the UK is concerned, I think it's a very complex relationship. I mean, there's a lot the most popular film in India last year was a film called RRR. And this had to do with the British era, and just I'm trying to put it delicately. You weren't the nice guys in the movie. So the reason I said,
Can I sit here as a South African?
yeah, no.
Please.
The fact is, when you have this kind of complex history, there would be the downside of it. There would be the suspicions. There would be the unresolved problems. At the same time, there will be bonds. There will be similarities, and cricket happens to be one of them. Now, in terms of the shifting weight of cricket, when it started to shift, actually people, I think, suggested we were better at the business of cricket than in the game of cricket. I think by now, barring this match, by now I think the game of cricket has shifted as well. So that's the kind of things which are happening in the world today. The world is changing. There's the old, there's the new, there's the old which is now the new.
Would you say we've also aced the politics of cricket, not just the game? We've been able to successfully weaponize it specifically against some of our Western neighbors.
No, I wouldn't. We don't weaponize anything. We are nice people. I strongly rebut that. Look, when anything is successful, there's a natural desire to be part of that. Now, it's understandable, but if you want to be part of what is good, what is decent, what is doing well in the world, then it's also expected that the rest of your behavioral pattern would reflect that. So I think that's a bit of an odd case, but I don't think anybody really wants to weaponize it or politicize it. I think there are understandable sentiments. I mean, cricket, is much more serious than a game, and therefore all the sentiments go along with it.
Kevin Pietersen, the game of cricket was introduced to India by some British traders back in the 18th century or the beginning of the 18th century. Today, India ranks higher than England in the ICC and higher than South Africa. How do you see this journey, India's journey, both on the cricket pitch and the geopolitical arena?
Yeah, I mean, a fascinating debate, and thank you so much for bringing me to India again. It is a place that I love. I've been coming here for 20 years now, and the country just keeps getting better and better.